Director of Special Education Instruction, Mike Williams. All right, leave those guys off the roster. But so enough introductions from me. A lot of people have wanted to come up and introduce Fidel. So we actually have a list of video introductions that you're about to see of people that have worked with Fidel over the years. And before he speaks, you'll see a little bit of his story through those that have worked with him.
'Fidel is inventive, respectful, persistent. He's the kind of guy who just works at something until he figures it out and gets it done. He's worked with many Fairfax County educators over the years, so let's hear what they have to say about Fidel.
I've known Fidel since he was in first grade. One thing that always amazes me with Fidel is his grit, his ability to persevere. You give Fidel something and he always takes it to the next level.
Hilarious. Persistent.
He had this unique ability to be able to make you smile just when he entered the room. Okay, everybody was happy just being around him. He's fun.
First of all, snappy dresser.
Technical whiz. Yeah, didn't he get like #1 for eye gauge or something? Great communicator. Advocate for himself and others. That's a good one.
But most importantly, Fidel is.
And OG.
Fidel rocks.
And the goals.
Young man who brings smiles to everyone's face and warms everyone's hearts.
Fidel loves to interact with his peers here at STEP, and they love to interact with him, and he's a great role model for them.
He is doing a marvelous job, and we love working with Fidel.
Fidel is super funny, super outgoing. He's a great friend to a lot of different people. We're able to use that for him and his job site currently, and he's filled with one-liners.
He's so kind and sweet and passionate.
Fidel is going places.
Fidel, you're an awesome communicator and you are so resilient. Can't wait to hear what you have to share with us today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am thrilled to see all of you here on a Saturday morning.
Thank you.
Families. I am sure many of you give up sports practices with your kids and time with your families. I am sure many of you give up sports practices with your kids and time with your families. If you are like me, my alarm went off way too early for a Saturday morning, as you can see. Some of you may be thinking, wow, that's really cool. Others may be thinking, man, that looks really tough. Well, both of you are right. And I would like to spend the next few minutes telling you a little bit about how I got to the point where I am able to use assistive technology to communicate, to work, and to build relationships with the people in my life. First, allow me to give you a summary of my life from when I was born, how I became a special needs kid and what brought me to this area. Special needs kid and what brought me to this. I believe everything happens for a reason. I was a healthy boy, born in Morocco in December 1999. I became sick when I was 7 months old and lost all my movements. I became sick. The first years, the only people who could understand me were my parents. After trying everything in Morocco and later in France, my family decided to move to the US to help me find the best care and the best quality of life. Arabic is my native language, so moving from Morocco to the US at age 4 was not easy. My start at kindergarten in Cincinnati, Ohio, in 2005 was very hard. I didn't have any idea about what people were talking about. And had no way to communicate in return, and had no. Now, I am able to communicate in English, but also in Arabic, Moroccan dialect. Now, I am able to communicate little bit in Spanish, and even a little bit in French. But back then, when I was little, I didn't have even one established language for communication. I felt lonely while surrounded by a lot of caring people. In 2006, after my dad moved his work from Morocco to Washington, D.C., we moved from Ohio to Virginia. I started first grade at Saratoga Elementary School. At this time, I was able to understand English and started to read English. Making new friends was very helpful, but my only way to communicate was yes and. Making new friends was very helpful. Making new friends was very helpful, but my only way to communicate was yes and no. Questions or showing what I need by pointing to it using my eye. Yes is by opening my mouth. No is blinking my eyes. Teachers and school staff were reading me class material. When I took tests, teachers asked me multiple choice questions, and I chose the answer by looking at it or by answering yes and no questions. I was willing to try everything new. I was referred by my school to Kennedy Krieger Institute for a transition program. This is a picture of a dying Navox 3100 just like I used to have. This was my first contact with a communication device. A dying Navox using a head pointer. It was an amazing new way to communicate with the rest of the world. I was able, for the first time, to tell I need to go to the bathroom without having people guess for 20 minutes. For people with no special needs, I want you to imagine a simple gesture as scratching your nose with your finger. It is indeed very simple, and you can do it without thinking about it. It is indeed very... Now, put yourself in a situation where you are not able to use your hands to reach your face. You cannot use your hands to point the itchy area. You cannot use your hand. And add to that, you can't talk and say you have an itchy nose. How will you communicate to others this request? My nose is itchy and it needs to be scratched. I am able to do so with my family. We have our own way to communicate. But with others, The use of an eye gaze device is a lifesaver. It takes a few seconds to express a need that will be impossible to communicate otherwise.
Hello, Fidel.
How are you?
Good, Daddy.
Hello.
Hello. So how are
I'm
you?
years old.
Huh? How old are you?
What do you like to do?
Play with my roller scooter vest. Hello, Fidel.
Since 2006, I have used many communication devices. Since 2000, starting with accessing the device with a head pointer. The reflective point was very hard, almost impossible due to the lack of head control. I had to go back to head pointer to use my communication devices, like my computer, my iPad, and even a piano keyboard. With the eye gaze technology, accessing a device became easier and it keep on improving. In the beginning, I wasn't able to reach the corners of the screen. It was hard to calibrate and the device storage was limited. Look at me now, talking with the Princess of Morocco.
Yeah.
Here's the list of all devices I used and means to access them. Here is the list of Dynavox, EcoPoint 2, iPad, computer, Accent 1200, Accent 1400, laptop, head pointer, reflective point, eye gaze. One of the limitations of eye gaze communication devices is not working outdoors, except the last one I just received this summer. Family is the vital key in the life of a person with special needs. And I am lucky to have such a supportive family. My dad's name is Ollie. My mom's name is Najah. My brother's name is Yasir. My sister's name is Sarah. My home caregiver's name is Mohammed.
Mm-hmm.
As a family, we have a lot of fun. We love being together, as you can see. One of the things we like to do as a family is travel, so please let me show you my adventures. We visited many countries: Morocco, France, Spain, China, Canada, Dominican Republic, and of course, United States of America. Look at me on a camel, on a donkey, and at the beach in Morocco.
Yeah, of course.
In Dominican Republic, we spend a lot of time with cute animals. The reason why I went to China is for stem cells treatment. My favorite team is in Spain. It's called Football Club Barcelona.
Of course.
We also visited many states: Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Illinois. And of course, Ohio, where my sister Sarah was born. We did everything from Disney World, aquariums, the beach, and seeing the space shuttle at NASA. We are planning to visit more states and countries. I even met the royal family. I am only joking. Museum. I am only joking. And there's a wax museum. Classmates, peers, buddies, and friends are also vital in the life of a person with special needs. I have no complaints about this. I have many friends who are always providing me with great support. I have some friends since elementary school, and I am making new friends every day. Something that I want you to know is my passion for FC Barcelona in Madrid. Something that I want you to know. I went to a game in DC and then got to meet some of the players of both Team Barcelona and Madrid. Don't worry, I also like American sports. Also love my pets. My dog's name is Ginger. My guinea pig name is Hershey. Now let me talk about my strengths and weaknesses. I always have a positive attitude. I am always happy. I am always willing to try new things. I always try. I always try to find new solutions. most important, I never give up. I never give up. On the other hand, I can't use my hands. I can't use my hands. I can't walk. I can't talk. Sometimes it's hard for me to find a solution, and I get tired or frustrated. Sometimes people have hard time understanding me, which also frustrating. And, of course, I wouldn't be able to use all this technology without the precious help of my ATS friends to whom I will never be thankful enough. My ATS Karen Burke, Chip Clark, Teresa Dobowski, Colleen Kalamika, Jody Lieberman, Jeff Powers. Also, thanks to Kennedy Krieger Institute and Johns Hopkins. Thank you, Dr. Ho. Thank you, Dr. Robinson. Thank you, Colleen Lenz. And big special thank you to Dr. Fademy. The easiest tool I have used was the head pointer. It is not really a device, but it helped me. Because the head pointer can be used for everything. I used it for iPad, Dynavox, laptop, piano, and even painting. The hardest thing that I used was the reflective point. It was hard to use because I had trouble with my head control, and because the lack of precision. When I came to America, people had a hard time understanding me. I had no devices to talk with, and it was hard to communicate. In the meantime, my native language is Arabic. And I had a hard time understanding people. My advice for parents to be patient with your children and only help them when they. My advice for parents to be patient with your children and only help them when they need it. And never give up. Be willing to try new things. It takes time and teamwork. Now, as a conclusion, I am from another country. Actually, from another continent. I came to America at a very young age. I didn't speak, read, or understand any English. It was hard to communicate at first. But because I have such a supportive family and my therapists and team worked together, I was able to use technology to communicate, work, and build relationships in my life. So now let me tell you about some of my accomplishments so far. Now, I am able to communicate, do work using Microsoft, Google Classroom, and the internet. I went through middle school, high school, and now I am in STEP. I was able to attend a job site as important as National Science Foundation. I am attending another job site right now. I am planning to attend college to have a cybersecurity degree and more.
Yeah.
So, if I can do it, everybody can. So, if I can. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your attention. Any questions?
You ready? Question. Any question? Question? Ask him question. Yeah.
I have a question. I'm an early childhood special education teacher, and I'd like to know what you would hope your early childhood teachers had known to help you.
Give me a minute to type. Give me a minute.
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead, you take it from.
Hi, Fidel. My son's favorite player is Cristiano Ronaldo. Who is your favorite player?
Messi, of course.
How do you type in music?
You don't get the question.
I didn't get that. Can you re-say it? I didn't get that.
How do you type in Arabic?
He's asking, how do you type or use the device to communicate in Arabic?
Well, I really can't, but I understand.
So we have time for just one more question.
Hi, Fidel. How hard was it for you to use a new device when it was introduced to you?
One day.
Thank you so much, Phil. That was fantastic. Let's hear it for him again. It's always hard to follow something like that, Fidel. I can't do better. So I personally like your history of device usage, and that speaks to how long ATS has been around. It's a special year for us because we're celebrating the 30-year anniversary of the AT initiative in Fairfax County Public Schools. So we started in 1989, and it's 2019. So we've really seen a lot of change. And Fidel's experienced a lot of change because that's what we do, and as we keep pace in all the technology changes that are out there. So it's a fantastic story. We really appreciate you sharing it with us. A couple thank yous before we break out into sessions. First of all, I got to thank Phil and the tech team. Can I see you guys? You can see and hear everything great because of the job that you did. So thank you for what you did for us on Saturday morning. Another thank you to the Chantilly Choir.